Yeah. There's a dancer. Oh, there we are. A 264,000 subscriber dancer. Nicely picked off into the leg side. And that will be an easy picking for 4 more.
Yeah, good use of the feet from Jahangir coming down, something that they couldn't do against Scotland 2 days ago with Matthew Cross up at the stumps. With the keeper back, Jahangir is more than willing to move up and just too straight from Sumpokami. Well, too easy, flicked off the pads. Really good positive start for Jahangir with this promotion.
What do they call those things you end up disappearing down on the internet? Rabbit hole.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole. Well, you're down the
I'm fully down the rabbit hole now. I'm watching a bit of Kalasi dance choreography from it's differently named Aman Patel as we get to the end.
Funny enough, you probably could find me doing some dance choreography out there, but out in the Kerry area.
I don't think your hair is as good as this lad, mate. Not even close. 4 ball, 21 for 1. All happening. Yeah, okay, enough of that. All happening there in that one. So that's the most common. Is it the most common surname in India? Patel.
It's right up there. I believe Patel's 1 sings 2. It might just be my own biases saying that.
But we were talking the other night. You obviously born and bred in America. Your mum born and bred in America as well. But your dad was originally born in India. Yeah, but he came over here.
Yeah, born in Gujarat. Came over in 2002 after marrying my mom. Came down here, and then they've been in North Carolina ever since. Had me in 03, and it's been the American dream, I guess, from that point on. Had my sister in 04, and enjoyed just that kind of dual culture. Nice driven. And that is back to a bit of vintage Manan Patel. That will fill him full of confidence. It's the first ball that he's faced. Actually, one of the shots of the day, isn't it? He's usually so good straight down the ground. Such a fine player, America's captain, but he's horribly out of nick and out of touch right now. He'll be desperate to get a score today despite that sore knee. Well, that's his highest score in the last 4 innings, just off that boundary. And he's covered the line. This was the Jahangir. Desperate to get a fine player, America's captain, but he's horribly out of nick and out of touch right now. He'll be desperate to get a score today despite that sore knee. Expect to hear, but it starts to leak in. Everyone's on their phones. Everyone's hearing things. He talked about the articles being written and things like that. And when you're out of form, you're not batting well, and then this comes on, and a lot of people are questioning the decision of Stuart Law. Put some pressure on him. It's been a bit erratic here, Nepal's bowlers. They've either been too full or too leg side, and yes, Cammy got the breakthrough with a full straight one, but since then they've gone hunting for wickets, and again I just don't think you need to search or go searching like the way in which they have been. They know Patel's out of form. They're probably, the talk in the game plan, the team meeting last night would have been okay. To USA's captain, we know he's not in the runs, so let's get full and straight to him early. Let's try and get him bowled or LBW, but you don't get someone bowled or LBW by angling it into the leg stump. Just got to be a bit more disciplined, Nepal. That's better. Inside edge and height. Don't think there's a lot going for that. Patel's body language, well, it's always interesting to watch. Doesn't look too pleased at the appeal, but equally you can understand why Nepal are appealing. And this is where Gunnar KC is going to want to operate. It's on the length, and from there, it's just jacked back quite a long way. Yeah, spot on, letting inside edge onto the pads. But we saw what Sumpokami did setting up Andres House. Yeah, it was full, it was straight, it angled slightly back in. But the three balls prior to that, all leaving Andres House, all on a length. So he's just kind of prodding outside of his body, and then he's playing down the wrong line. You can do something similar now to Mani Patel. This is a Nepal fan driving home on SR61. Where's SR61? Let's have a look at that. No? My S isn't working on my keyboard. Where's SR61? You know? Well, I looked up SR6. It's in California. California. See, he's driving home from an army drill in the passenger seat, watching ICC TV. I'm watching the country of my residence versus the country of my birth. But I'm very much cheering for Nepal. That's a great message from Sushil. Thank you for your service, sir. Yubraj Sadai says, Aman means peace in Hindi. It does, yeah. And the word comes from Sanskrit. I didn't know that. I was presuming you did. Yeah. Thing to be called. It is. It's brilliant. My parents made it very clear to my sister and I that we would know what our names mean. Her names mean faith. It's Asta in Asta, and it's Sanskrit for faith, which is quite brilliant as well. I told you, you've
3 or 5 years prior. But there's so much incredibly strong home-produced talent. There's loads of cricket academies now in the UAE. They've got in all 7 of the Emirates stadia now, or cricket facilities. But the 3 standouts, of course, are Abu Dhabi, Sharjah and Dubai. They seem to keep getting held back by some strange politics and appointments. I think if Namibia had more people, with all the things they're doing, their board is doing everything right. I love what they're doing down there. As we see spin into the attack for the first time today, Lanat Rajbanshi. Defensive from Jahangir to start. But then there's also some interesting kind of outliers who could really come up through the ranks. Can Kenya get their house back in order and come back up from the Challenge League? What about Papua New Guinea? Richard Doan has gone there from USA to be the CEO. They're full of potential. They've got lots of participants. I think Uganda are a great story. It's going to miss the leg stump. Saudi Arabia are fascinating. Again, lots of born and bred local players. They just need to start to get their facilities up to scratch. Kuwait are doing great things off the field. The fact that we have so many countries to mention, and we haven't even said the Netherlands yet, who are probably the premier associate in the world right now, certainly in terms of men's on-field performance. It shows that there's a depth in the associate game that simply wasn't there 20 years ago. And I'll tell you one final thing, man. I'd love for a few more countries that we haven't even mentioned to maybe be in the mix in 10 years' time.
And that's the beauty of it, because you've thrown us a huge timetable of 10 years. And we know just the nature of associate cricket. This one's clearly going down the leg side. You just